The first time I ever felt called to take a step back and seriously reevaluate what my goals were and what success meant to me was 5 years ago when I experienced burnout for the very first time. I was in the depths of hustle culture. I'd just taken on my online business full time and was maxing out my schedule in a pretty relentless attempt to be successful, which really had no definition to me at this point besides earning money and doing lots of things. So I put as much on my plate as possible, constantly thinking of ways to diversify and scale my online business, just like I was seeing so many others doing in the digital space, not to mention the multiple jobs I'd been simultaneously working for years before that. It took burnout for me to ask myself, to what end can being busy with endless projects, infinite growth, or an endless number in the bank exist? You can have all of those things, but if you're overworked and unhappy, none of it is worth it. Burnout returned after I had my daughter a year and a half ago, as I found myself making the mistake of trying to do it all. For the first time in my life, I had a new kind of responsibility, a relentless and an all-consuming one. I struggled with my new identity as a mom early on, and the meshing of two worlds, past me with work to do and things to keep up with, and new me with a little person whose needs trump all of it by a long shot. I learned quickly that many things had to give, and there I was yet again reevaluating what my goals were, what my priorities were, and what success really meant to me. I knew deep down that doing more and being more was not it. I decided that if I felt calm and content, if I can comfortably handle what's on my plate day to day rather than living in a perpetual state of overwhelm as I stretch myself thin trying to reach my unrealistic standards, and if I feel joyful and fulfilled, then that's what success is. I learned that it doesn't take much for me to feel joyful and fulfilled. Everyone's wants and needs and goals and values are different, of course, but for me, as I took things off my plate, scaled back my work, streamlined, let go of the obsession with how many views I'd get or any other metrics I'd been stringently using to measure my worth, and really slowed down, making intentional choices about the way I lived day to day, I noticed something. My life felt exquisitely ordinary, and I was the happiest I'd been in a very long time. Joy was found in a hot cup of tea, the satisfying sound of crumbs getting sucked up by the vacuum, pruning some lilac at the side of the house, the sound of the robins early in the morning and late in the evening, watching my daughter light up at the sight of a tiny rock, which she picks up and gives to me, late night conversations with my husband or with friends, the feeling of a paint stroke on paper, and the rekindling at the very same time of a passion somewhere lost along the way. What I wanted most was to relish in the tiny little ordinary everyday joys that surrounded me, to realign myself with what I valued most. I wanted to sit with the enoughness. Instead of being more, what if I focused on being enough? Instead of doing more, what if I did enough? Just enough to meet my needs and my family's needs. Letting go is an art. It takes honesty with ourselves to determine what matters most to us, and it takes courage to make changes in our lives, to let go of things that no longer serve us. Maybe those things are goals we had that are no longer relevant. Maybe it's habits we need to break, old beliefs or mindsets we need to shift, or a lifestyle that we need to reevaluate. There's no right or wrong way to do things, and it's impossible to be perfect when it comes to living more intentionally or perhaps slowing down. We all have responsibilities and work to do, or maybe people or families who depend on us. But the more we reflect on our values and what we want for ourselves, for our families, the better we can align our actions with the kind of life we do want to live the most. And you know what's the most profound? There's liberation in the let go. The let go of the unimportant, the redundant, the time wasting, the illusory pleasure from external validation, the keeping up so we don't fall behind, yet another illusion. I discovered that the more I let go of what no longer suited me, the more I realized just how much I'd been holding onto so tightly. The very things that years ago I thought I wanted or needed so badly to be happy. In the let go, I was making space for the real good things, the nurturing things, the soul quenching things, the important things.